Only 2 more chapters.
Well, Artie, I'm so sick of hearing this goddamn James and the giant goddamn peach.
5 minutes later, they were all safely...
That's what I think about your book, Artie. I just farted on it. I don't want to hear the end. I'm sick of hearing this motherfucking child talk about his damn giant peach.
Yeah, but they assured me that most of the time you couldn't hear anyways, so what difference
Well, I
does
could
it
hear
make?
it. Oh, I could hear it. That's all I had when I was in a coma.
I'm glad to hear this.
Was hearing you talk to some woman every week. And hearing James and the Giant Peach, you've been reading it for like weeks.
Yeah.
And you still ain't done.
I know, I was reading you 1 chapter a day.
It should be done. How many chapters are there?
39.
39 chapters.
Yep.
It would have taken you almost a year. Wait, no.
It would have been 39 days.
Well, I still feel like it should be done, Artie, and I'm done hearing it.
5 minutes later, they were all safely down, and James was excitedly telling his story to a group of...
I just wish you would get us out of here. You've been keeping
what's
me
this
in here.
word?
Flabbergasted. You never heard the word flabbergasted?
No.
It means you're surprised.
Okay. 5 minutes later, they were all safely down, and James was excitedly telling his story to a group of flabbergasted officials.
You've been keeping me in here until you finish this book, and I'm just ready to leave.
No, the doctor would not let you. They had to do tests. They had to make sure your brain cognition was good, and then they had to make sure.
How come the doctor told me I could leave whenever I'm ready, but you was keeping me here so you could read James and the Giant Peach?
The doctor is a liar. And suddenly, everyone who had come over on the Peach was a hero. They were all escorted to the steps of City Hall, where the mayor of New York...
What the fuck is this book even about, Artie?
Well, if you would let me finish, you would know. Am I right? They were all escorted to the steps of City Hall, where the mayor of New York made a speech of welcome.
New York?
And while
I thought this took place in England.
And while he was doing this, 100...
You're pissing me off,
What is
Artie.
this?
Steeplejacks?
100 steeplejacks armed with ropes and ladders and... What's this?
Pulleys?
Pulleys swarmed up to the top of the Empire State Building and lifted the giant peach off the spike and lowered it to the ground. Then the mayor shouted, "We must now have a ticker tape parade for our..." What's this? What is this?
That's the word wonderful.
For our wonder...
You used the word wonderful in your wedding bells to me.
For our what? Wonderful visitors.
Damn it, Artie.
And so a procession was formed, and then the leading...
You're telling me I'm in a coma for weeks from when you stabbed me, and I wake up with you basically molesting a retard on top of me, and now you won't let me leave.
I have to finish the book. It is important to my sanity that I finish. I don't remember how it happened. I don't remember
I wish you
when.
would just finish inside me for once.
We've talked about this. You are pregnant, possibly with my baby.
I don't feel very pregnant. I don't got a little baby lump.
You think they are ghosts?
I don't know. I just don't think I'm pregnant. You never came inside of me.
I didn't?
I did get molested by Destiny McElhenry, but...
So then they are probably his babies.
Well, have you ever came inside of me, Artie? Just tell me. Did you ever do it while I was sleeping?
Yes.
You came inside me while I was sleeping.
I came inside you. I never wore a condom, Mom. You
told me you was wearing a condom.
I know. Every time I said I was wearing a condom, I didn't.
So while you was hitting it from behind, you didn't wear a condom.
I did not, and I'm sorry to tell you that you probably...
Even the time when we won the cliff.
You probably have syphilis.
What?
I know.
Is that what they're doing tests for?
Yeah, part of it.
For syphilis.
Yeah, one of the many tests.
Well, that's. I'm lucky that that's one of the main ones they got a cure for.
Yeah, one that they don't, however, is HIV.
What?
I am.
You telling me you have HIV?
I'm HIV negative.
I didn't know he was a fat.
I'm HIV negative.
Then why would you even worry?
It's negative.
Is that like a?
No, it's a negative connotation. That's the word. I'm HIV negative. It's bad.
Is it? I'm pretty sure HIV negative means you don't have HIV.
No.
As in negative, you do not have HIV.
No, it's I'm sorry to tell you this, I have negative news. You have HIV.
Who the fuck told you that?
That's not how they said it. They came in, they had the sheet of paper, I just had sex with a junkie, and they say...
You can only get HIV from having sex with men, Artie.
No, you can have it from...
No, you have to be a to get HIV.
That's not true.
That's a proven fact.
Okay. Well, I shared a heroin needle with someone while I was in rehab. And she came to me later and said that she may or may not have AIDS. So I go to the doctor, I walk in, and they come back with the test, and they say, congratulations, you're HIV negative. I don't know why they say congratulations, it's ruined my life. I've told every person I've been with afterwards that I've...
But not me, not your mother.
Yeah.
I'm just, like, it's not like I have anything to worry about. You don't have HIV. But
I
the
do!
fact that you didn't even tell me bothers me.
I have HIV.
The fact that you didn't even tell your mama you do not have HIV. We'll have to get Tyrone in here to dispute this for us.
Next came the giant peach.
Oh my god,
itself.
enough with the goddamn James and the giant peach.
Men with cranes and hooks had quickly...
I thought she was gonna marry me, Artie.
...hoisted it onto a very large truck, and there it now sat. Looked just as huge and proud and brave as ever. There was, of course, a bit of a hole in the bottom of it where the spike of the Empire State Building had gone in, but who cared about that? Or indeed, about the peach juice that was dripping out of it onto the street.
You're telling me that the Empire State Building popped the peach?
It pierced it.
That's fucking stupid.
It. It's giant.
That's stupid, Artie.
It's giant.
When are you going to take me back to the Caribbean?
Behind the peach.
When are you going to take your mommy back to the Caribbean?
All over the place in the peach juice came the mayor's limousine, and behind the mayor's limousine came about 20 other limousines carrying all the important people of the city.
What country are we in?
We're in the United States.
Are we even allowed in the United States?
Ted Cruz promised that when he is elected, the next president, that he will keep us safe. He and the running mate Carly Fiorina have heard our case, and
they're not going to win, though.
Well, that's why we got to work for them.
It's statistically impossible for him to get enough delegates.
Yeah, but no one's going to get the delegates going into the convention, so realistically he could do it.
But
and when he does, he and Carly will grant our asylum. All we have to do is keep the White House out of the hands of crooked Hillary.
Why do you think that Ted Cruz is automatically going to win over Hillary?
Because it's going to be hard for Hillary to run for president when she's in prison. That's just me being real.
I thought you was a Hillary supporter now.
I just told you that. I have to...
I thought you was a liberal.
Listen.
You're literally doing incest.
And
that's a liberal idea.
No.
You think the conservatives would want you to be having incest?
Have you seen the Mormons? Conservative.
That's well, I guess like Ted Cruz, he's the result of incest.
Right. But if it becomes an issue of, do I want to stay in the country that I feel most welcome in, and if I want to stay in America, guess what? Ted Cruz has to be the next president.
That's so fucking stupid.
And the crowds went wild with excitement. They leaned out of the windows of the skyscrapers, cheering and yelling and screaming and clapping and throwing out bits of white paper and ticker tape. And James and his friends stood up in their car and waved back at them as they went by. Then a rather curious thing happened. The procession was moving slowly along Fifth Avenue when suddenly a little girl in a red dress ran out from the crowd and shouted, "Oh, James, could I please have just a tiny taste of your marvelous peach?"
What?
Yeah.
How's it do, Eddie?
"Help yourself," James shouted back. "Eat all you want. It won't keep forever anyway." No sooner had he said this than about 50 other children exploded out of the crowd and came running into the street. "Can we have some too?" they cried. "Of course you can," James answered. "Everyone can have some." The children jumped onto the truck and swarmed like ants all over the giant peach, eating and eating to their heart's content. And as the news of what was happening spread quickly from street to street, more and more boys and girls came running from all directions to join the feast.
Oh, I'm getting so wet.
Soon there was a trail of children a mile long, chasing after the peach as it proceeded slowly up Fifth Avenue. Really, it was a fantastic sight. To some people, it looked as though the Pied Piper of Hamelin had suddenly descended upon New York. And to James, who had never dreamed there could be so many children as this in the world,
I'm showing you my wet pussy right now, and you're not looking.
It was the most marvelous thing that had ever happened. By the time the procession was over, the whole gigantic fruit had been completely eaten up, and only the big brown stone in the middle, licked clean and shiny by 10,000 eager little tongues, was left standing on the truck.
That chapter was literally 2 pages.
I know. There's only one more page. One and a half more page. You let me finish?
I guess I'll let you finish.
And thus the journey ended. But the travelers lived on. Every one of them became rich and successful in the new country. Listen to this. The centipede, was made vice president in charge of sales of a high-class firm of boot and shoe manufacturers.
Okay.
The earthworm, with his lovely pink skin, was employed by a company that made women's face creams to speak commercials on television.
Alright.
The silkworm and Miss Spider, after they had both been taught to make nylon thread instead of silk, set up a factory together and made ropes for tightrope walkers. Good for them.
Okay.
The glowworm became the light inside the torch on the Statue of Liberty and thus saved a grateful city from having to pay a huge electricity bill every year. The old green grasshopper became a member of the New York Symphony Orchestra, where his playing was greatly admired. The ladybug hung herself.
What?
That's what it says. The ladybug hung herself.
Oh. That's tragic.
But specifically for James Henry Trotter, the main character, came out of the closet.
What are you reading?
I'm reading the end.
That's not what happened.
You see, Mom, I got to get something. You know, this time that we've shared together has meant the world to me in the hospital.
Wait, what are you doing over there?
You'll see.
What are you preparing for me?
I got something for you.
What is that?
I can't tell you yet.
What's
Mom,
happening?
my whole life, I have wanted nothing more than to be by your side every day, every night. From the day that I was born and you jerked me off,
I remember,
to the day that I first came on your titties when I was 13.
The great day that was.
It was a great day, and I love recreating the moment.
I loved when he licked off your cum from my nipples.
Yeah, it was great. But it hasn't always been It hasn't always been great.
We've had our rough patches where you stabbed me.
When I stabbed you, when I married my wife,
yeah.
As I went to college and dated around.
You didn't go to college, you went to community college, but okay.
Okay. Through it all, your love remained. And now that I've gone through this moment where I see you almost die, it made me realize that I've always wanted to do something that is not allowed. And one of those things is to start a family with you.
You want to start a family with me?
I want to have retarded babies with you.
You willing to have retarded babies with me, Artie?
Anything with you, baby. Even if those babies are Destiny McElhenry's, we'll raise them as if they are our own.
Oh, that means everything to me.
And there's one more thing.
What is that? Is that a ring?
Brenda.
Oh, I never thought this day would come.
Brenda May DeCaplini.
Oh.
Brenda May DeCaplini Will you make me the happiest man in the world?
Oh, I will.
And marry me?
I will. Oh, it's beautiful. Where'd you get it?
I stole it.
You stole it?
From your jewelry box. It is Grandma's ring.
You gave me Grandma's ring?
Yeah, it will be our ring.
She was such a lovely little racist woman.
She is the foundation of our marriage. She is what I hope to be, and what I hope we can be together.
If only she would have molested me.
Things would have been different.
Things went full circle.
It would have been beautiful.
I got molested by my parent, and then I molested my son, and then we ended up getting married. That was so beautiful. I love you, Artie.
I love you too, Mom.
Where can we even get married at?
That's the thing. It won't be easy. It isn't legal, but I will spend the rest of my days fighting to make it legal in this country to marry your own mother.
You're gonna become a lobbyist for incest? Incest equality?
You and I will use our platform on MOATAIF, starring Zach Roberts and RJ Quillen, to preach incest to the world. We will go.
I love it.
State to state, city to city. We'll find those incest freaks. We'll get them to sign petitions. We will, under the Cruz administration, win incest equality.
If the gays could do it, we could do it. Fiorina 2016.
If the gays could do it, so can we.
You're very right.
We are less disgusting than the gays.
For sure. At least we're not putting it in somebody's butthole. Except for me putting it in my butthole.
Right. So is that a yes?
That's a yes, Artie. I'm so happy.
Let's fuck.
Oh, yeah. Put it in my wet pussy. It's been out since you've been reading that book. I had to do something to pass the time.
Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh, come in me.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh, I came. I'm coming inside. I'm coming inside. Oh, let me rub the clit. Let me rub the clit. Now, Mama, put your legs up in the air. Let that pussy juice go. Get those babies in there. Maybe my sperm will kill the babies that are already in there. We can start over with new babies. You're punching yourself. Now get over here and suck my cock. Until next time. Oh, shit. Tune in next time for more. Oh, fuck. Tune in next. It's now time to go. Oh, yeah. Well, now turn you over to Zach Roberts and RJ Quillen. Oh, shit. Oh, deep throat, my...
I talked to Dan Sachs about Carly Fiorina.
Yeah?
Being Ted Cruz's running mate. I was like, isn't that pretty random? He's like, he's not even going to win. He's like, oh, it's just so he can stay in the news. He didn't even seem surprised about it.
Well, because, like, they had mentioned it a few days before. That was, like, what was probably going to happen.
Well, it didn't even seem like it fazed him. He's like, it's a normal thing. He's like, oh, he just wanted to stay in the news.
Yeah, well, I think it was definitely... Like, a lot of people have already said it's like a Hail Mary. That he was just trying to stay relevant. Because, like, obviously... Because, like, he and John Kasich are mathematically... he and John Kasich are mathematically, like, statistically, it is impossible for them to be the nominee before the convention. So, Donald Trump still has a chance. He just needs to win 56% of the remaining delegates to win the nomination.
Kind of seems like a lot.
Which is still a lot. So the likelihood is that none of the Republican candidates will win the nomination by pledged delegates. So they'll go into the convention and it'll be contested where they can literally nominate anybody, which I think is so fascinating. And honestly, I want that to happen.
It's not. It's like not fair.
It's not fair. It's so like, yeah, because for all intents and purposes, like Donald Trump won.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if that happened if Donald Trump sued the RNC.
Yeah, or like, yeah, there would be like actual outrage if Donald Trump.
You think there'd be riots?
Probably. Really, any of the candidates that are running they're gonna lose to Hillary Clinton, except like John Kasich, who like polls ahead of her right now. But if it's he doesn't really have a case. Like, if you go into the convention and you're Donald Trump or Ted Cruz, at least you have a case. You're like, look at how many states I won. Like, I won more states. Like, John Kasich doesn't have that case to make.
He won one state.
Right, and it was his home state, so it doesn't really matter. So
I'm surprised he won.
I'm not, because there are a lot of people in Ohio that are anti-Trump, and so they just voted for John Kasich. I don't think it was anything more than like a stop Trump thing.
Yeah.
I think if they go into the convention, the first ballot is the only ballot that the delegates have to vote for who they are going in voting for.
Uh-huh.
So if you go into the convention as a Trump voter, you have to, on the first ballot only, vote for Donald Trump. And it's like a roll call vote. It's not even like a ballot or anything. They just say like, and how do you vote? And they're just like, we vote like and there's usually a representative.
For those Trump say aye.
No, it's like, there's like 87 delegates, and then like within the state, they're like so you're like, you're Trump, you're Cruz, you're Kasich, and you're Fiorina, and like however many delegates that they want out of that state, and then they do the roll call and they're like, Alabama with 77 delegates, how do you vote? And they'll be like, 11 votes for Donald Trump, 11 votes for Senator Cruz, 11 votes, and they'll just do it until they've used all their 77 delegates. But that's only for the first one. Anything after that, then they could just be like, well, Alabama, like, I came in as a Trump supporter, but I'd actually like to nominate fucking Mitt Romney. And so, yeah, they don't even have to be running. They don't even have to be running. They could literally be like, Alabama, how do you vote? Like, 11 votes, Donald Trump, 11 votes, Mitt Romney, and they have to count them.
Huh.
Now, of course, they could nominate Mitt Romney, and he
could decline.
He'd probably accept, but yes, he could decline.
And so he can lose to another Democrat badly.
Right, but the thing that I think. In my head, I would love for that to happen to the Republican Party, because that would I think that would destroy it. If they go into the convention and they don't nominate Donald Trump when their voters have overwhelmingly said Donald Trump,
yeah,
that's fucked. Like, I don't want Donald Trump to win the nomination. I wanted anything but that. But I also think it's going to be good for us because...
Yeah, I want him to.
Easy as fuck to beat Donald Trump, I think. Like, most people have a negative view of Donald Trump.
Well, only one candidate has more votes than him.
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton.
Right. So, my thing is... if they go into the convention and they nominate, like, Donald... or Ted Cruz or John Kasich... when overwhelmingly voters have chosen Donald Trump, then like all those voters are just going to be like, what the fuck? Like, I would be pissed. If we went into if the Democratic convention was contested, which it's clearly not going to be, Hillary Clinton's going to win by pledged delegates and popular vote and super delegates. So like, without a doubt, she's won the nomination. But if we were going into a contested convention, and we walked in thinking with Hillary Clinton in the lead and walked out with Bernie Sanders as our nominee, I'd be pissed. Because he didn't win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I would. I was going to say I wouldn't even know if I'd vote for him, but...
I mean, I would.
I'd have to.
But I would be really pissed. Yeah.
I wouldn't buy any merchandise from him. I wouldn't volunteer.
I wouldn't donate to his campaign, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that I find fascinating. In 2008...
We love burping.
Yeah, this is the Burp-cast. In 2008, because they keep pointing to this this poll that says that like a majority, like 30% of Sanders supporters say that they won't vote for Hillary if she's the nominee, and they're looking at there was a similar poll in 2008 that said 40% of Hillary's voters were not going to vote for Barack Obama if he became the nominee. Which clearly they did, because he won like an overwhelming number of votes. But like, she worked really hard to make that happen. You know, she really worked hard to bridge that gap. Like in a sort of
she dropped out. Yeah. She endorsed him.
Yeah, in a very unprecedented way, like very unprecedented, the way that she just actually like campaigned for and worked for the president. And they're like, well, yeah, that's because like he promised her a cabinet position. I don't think he did.
He might have.
In his book, and in her book, and in all public accounts of their race, she was blindsided by the offer of Secretary of State.
Really?
And she almost said no, but she's like, how could you say no? Because like the president is asking you to serve. Like you can't say no, you know?
Yeah. Well, she was a shitty Secretary of State, according to Trump.
Yeah, which is funny because when she stepped down from Secretary of State, he himself said she was one of the finest Secretaries of State we've ever seen, which I agree. I mean, I truly think so. And I'm also brainwashed. I mean, I like her. But for the most part, I think there are a lot of things that she did to help our diplomacy around the world. I mean, I don't even care about foreign policy for the most part, but I think that she was a good Secretary of State. But that aside, I think it's interesting that she went all out to make sure, because she realized, like, we can't have no way, no how, no McCain. Like, she realized we can't have John McCain in office.
Yeah.
And she campaigned the fuck out of President Obama, which I think was unprecedented. Like, I can't think of anywhere else in politics where someone who ran against them dropped out and campaigned hard for them.
Yeah.
Like, they drop out and they endorse, but they don't, like, fucking John Edwards ran for president in 2008. He didn't drop out and work hard for Obama.
Yeah.
You know, fucking Dennis Kucinich dropped out and endorsed Obama, but didn't, like, Dennis Kucinich wasn't a fucking, like, campaign surrogate.
Yeah.
You know, Hillary Clinton knew that there was a problem with her supporters not supporting Obama and worked hard to turn it over. And she did. And I don't see Bernie Sanders doing the same thing.
Especially, like, because he, like, criticizes her all the time.
Right. But I also think, in terms of that poll, in 2008, it was right at the end of the primary season. It was a bitter primary season. Like this season.
Yeah.
Like this primary. It was bitter between the two campaigns, between the supporters, and I truly think that a lot of these Sanders supporters who say they're never going to vote for Hillary Clinton in this poll don't actually mean it. They mean it. They think they're not going to vote for her, but I think in the long run they're going to come down to the decision that if we don't vote, we end up with a Trump or Cruz presidency.
Yeah, maybe, but...
Well, I mean, I've seen those posts where they're like, well, maybe a Trump presidency would help us get the political revolution we need. But I think those are the extremists. And, you know, of those 30% that say that they're not going to vote for Hillary, I think probably like 20% will, and 10% will not.
Maybe they just won't vote at all, which is, like, just as bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that they'll eventually come around, because And these people that say, like, well, I'm not going to vote for Hillary, I'm going to vote for, like, Donald Trump because, you know, they're like, because I could never vote for Hillary. Like, I don't think that that's true.
You think?
I don't think that that's true. How could you go from, like, liberal socialist to, like, actual racist, bigot, homophobe, like, horrible person? I mean, the policy doesn't match up at all.
Yeah.
You can't go from, like, one campaign that supports... they're polar opposite campaigns. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you truly believe in what Bernie stands for, then, I mean, at least you would vote for Jill Stein. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand the sentiment where my candidate didn't win, so I can't vote for the winner. I don't understand the sentiment where, like, I'm a Democrat, I've always voted Democrat, I support Barack Obama, and in the primary I supported Bernie Sanders, but I'm not going to vote for the Democratic candidate because it's not Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I hate Jill Stein.
Do you?
Yeah, because
she also hates Hillary.
She also hates Hillary now.
Yeah.
Well, she's always hated the Democrats.
Why?
Because they're pseudo-leftists. They act like they're liberal, but they're not. Because they're not they're not like extremists like Jill Stein.
Right.
Which she is.
She is.
She's that beeping?
His fucking bullshit.
Fuck you, Dennis.
We're live from the Roberts rental, by the way. Yeah, she just... Yeah, because I think I probably saw that same video that you were talking... that you saw. There was, like, a video where she was, like, sitting there. She's like, Hillary just is the corporate candidate. She's the candidate of Wall Street.
Yeah, well, I, liked her on Facebook, and she, kept sharing, well, she, not sharing, but she kept posting anti-Hillary things.
Yeah.
And I, blocked her.
Yeah.
She pissed me off.
Yeah, well, I guess I can understand from, Jill Stein's standpoint. I don't agree that, Hillary's the corporate candidate. I don't agree, all this bullshit. But, I can understand from Jill Stein's standpoint where she's going into a general election and she wants to try to be she's not as left as I am, which is true, because Jill Stein's a fucking extremist, could never get any... First of all, Green Party candidate's never going to win. Oh, well,
they don't even get recognition.
Yeah, well, which is wrong,
independent party, candidates, Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
I feel like he's more known than fucking Jill Stein.
Yeah, well, I think... Here's the thing.
I saw Gary Johnson's sticker the other day, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, now, see, I think we should have... I think that we should include these people in the debates. At least one. At least one. I do think it's wrong that there are candidates on the ballot who aren't... And, the argument... the argument is, the rules are you have to poll above a certain percentage to be included in the debate.
Yeah.
But their argument is, how am I supposed to poll higher in the debate if people don't know I'm running?
Yeah.
And I agree that, and I also understand that, a Green Party candidate's never going to win, but if everybody who thought that voted for a Green Party candidate, they would win. But, Jill
Stein got arrested in 2012 for protesting, some debate.
Yeah, she, broke in. She tried to, break in and, be on the debate stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got arrested.
Yeah, which sucks. I think we should include them, but in the current way that it is, she's not going to win. The Green Party isn't a thing, really. It exists, but nowhere in the country is there, a Green Party senator, a Green Party...
Yeah, literally nowhere.
Literally nowhere in the country.
We have, fucking Tea Party senators and representatives.
Yeah, but that's not a real thing.
Tea Party?
Tea Party's not a real thing.
Really?
It's not an actual thing. That's just what they call... That's what they called themselves, but they're still Republicans. Registered Republicans. Huh. Ted Cruz is a Tea Party Republican.
Fuck Ted Cruz.
Yeah. But, he's, the Tea Party... Because I also thought the same thing. But it's not I don't know why they called themselves the Tea Party, but they were just well, I think because they were we're the Boston Tea people.
Yeah.
We're the Boston Tea Party. But then
they hated the tariffs.
Yeah, exactly. So they're well, we just hate the government, so we're the Tea Party. Because we're going to overthrow it. Sarah Palin's Tea Party, Donald Trump's, Tea Party, they're all, it's extreme right-wing politics is associated with the Tea Party. But it's not, a real thing.
Well, we have, a libertarian people.
Yeah.
I guess it's not a party, is it?
Yeah, the Libertarian Party can be a party. There is a Libertarian Party.
I'm thinking, Rand Paul.
Yeah, well, he's just a Republican.
Yeah, but,
he leans...
But he says that he's a libertarian.
Yeah, but he's, well, Bernie Sanders says he's a socialist. But he's not, a registered socialist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he calls himself a Democratic Socialist, but he does not belong to the actual Democratic Socialist Party.
Right.
Which exists.
Right. So, because even he knows you cannot get elected if you're not a high-profile party member.
Bernie Sanders is independent.
He was an independent, yeah. He's now registered in the Democratic Party to run in our primary, but...
So he could win.
Yeah, because he knew on a national scale an independent candidacy is not going to win.
If he ran for if he ran as an independent, people would probably never know who he was.
Right.
They'd vote for Gary Johnson if they're independents.
We would have had a primary between Hillary Clinton and Martin O'Malley. And Martin O'Malley would never have caught on.
He would have lost.
It would have been
landslide.
Yeah, it would have been a 50-state win for Hillary Clinton in the primary. It would have been no contest. Everybody could have just stayed home, and it would have been fine. I don't fucking know. I hate the anti-Hillary sentiment. I really do, because I think it just does more to tear apart the party than it does.
She accepts donations.
I hate you.
That's why you hate her.
Yep. That's why I hate her.
Fuck you, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I really...
Thomas Piper, election, please.
I hate Bernie Sanders. I really do. I think he's a prick.
Yeah, I wanted to, when I was having my meeting with Britt, former employee of Elizabeth Warren, former White House employee, former employee of Hillary Clinton's campaign, I wanted to like tell her so bad. I wanted to be like, I fucking hate Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
But Dan was right there, and I'm not sure if he supports Bernie Sanders.
He doesn't.
I imagine he's pro Hillary.
You know he is.
Well, he said he prefers Hillary. But like he's never said anything.
You don't think he's like anti Bernie Sanders. He supports Hillary.
Yeah, but I want to like tell her how much I hate Bernie.
Yeah,
because she was saying, because we were mentioning Lisa Stanley, I was like, oh, Lisa Stanley, Bernie supporter.
Yeah,
and she's like tiptoeing around. And she's like, well, some people she's like, well, I know we have this problem where like right now we have like one candidate who isn't technically the nominee, but like there's no way anybody else could be the nominee.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, Hillary is the nominee.
Right.
She's like, but some people just are in denial. Am I gonna have that problem with her?
Yes.
Well, I think so. We said probably not because like she's not anti-Hillary.
She seems to be.
Really?
Yes. Everybody. I think anybody that supports Bernie is anti-Hillary for the most part, and then because they all share like pro-Bernie things, but pro-Bernie things can't be pro-Bernie things without being anti-Hillary. Because
he has like nothing else.
Right.
Fucking income inequality and anti-Hillary.
Right.
That's all he got.
That's all he got.
That's all he's got.
Right. When I decided I was feeling the burn for that like month, I was like, Bernie Sanders will lose my support if he attacks Hillary.
And he did.
And he did, but that's not why he lost my support. But he has like, if I had been feeling the burn, I would have lost it by the time we voted in Ohio anyway.
Yeah, I'm fucking sick of this old man.
I hate him. And I at one point I was like, what a great ticket it would be, like Clinton Sanders 2016. I don't want to see him anymore after he goes away.
I'm tired of him.
I'm so over him. I think he's such a prick. He's such an asshole.
Millionaires and billionaires, $27 to my campaign.
The sight of him disgusts me. Like, I hate when there's a story about Bernie Sanders, or I see his ugly campaign signs.
Face, yeah.
I see his, like, ugly face. I see, like...
head,
yeah, I hate him.
Hair.
I hate him. And whenever there's, like, an election, if there's a state that he wins, I'm pissed. Every time. Even if it's a state, like, there was no way Hillary was gonna win. Like, fucking, like... Vermont, you know. I'm like, fuck. Like, it pisses me off. Because then it just gives the Bernie people ammunition. They're like, well, he just won Vermont. Like, yeah, but Vermont has like 3 delegates. Like, get the fuck over it. Like,
but he won 46 of the 48 counties in New York.
And they want to complain about how like the delegate system works, but that's how you win. But not even that. He's losing the popular vote. In 2008, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote and lost the delegate count.
Yeah.
I would probably be pissed about that if that happened now, but that's just how it works. Like, he doesn't even have that argument to go off of. He's not winning pledged delegates, he's not winning the popular vote, he's not winning in superdelegates, and yet they're still like, yeah, he's gonna win. They're fucking retards.
Yep.
And I got hate for calling him that in that video, but I'm about to make that video public again because it's now more obvious than ever that I was right all along in that video.
76% of the vote? I thought this would be hard.
Yeah, that fucking moron. 76%? I thought this would be hard. Yeah, it is. It was impossible for him to do.
And now he's like...
And now he is done. Like, in my mind, yeah, his campaign's gonna run through maybe the convention, but at least through California. But to me, the primary is over.
I can't wait until he drops out. We're going to have a party that day.
We probably will. We'll probably have a great party and we'll film it. It'll probably be a great video.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Fuck off. Fuck the burn. Fuck the burn. Coming soon to an Austin Zach 00 channel near you. What if there were multiple Austin Zach 00 channels? Oh. Like, what if there was like, if it was such a big brand that we had, like...
Austin Zach 00 games.
No,
Austin
not
Zach
like
00.
that. Not like that. I just mean, like different groups of people doing, like, Austin Zach 00 type videos.
Vsauce.
Yeah, but, like, Vsauce has, like, themes. Like, Vsauce is, like, science. Vsauce 2 is, like, gadgets and gizmos. And Vsauce 3 is, like, games. But, like, I'm saying, like, specifically, like, there was, like, we had, like...
It's like a network.
Yeah, we had, like, 5 people, like, 5 other friends, who just hung out and made random fucking videos.
That'd be cool.
Like, they did their own podcast, and it was just, like, Austin Zach 01.
I want to do this though. Let's get a camera for Hannah and let her film her life.
Well, we would make her do that on Austin's X00.
Oh yeah.
It would be like 5 completely different people. Like it would be like
they would be friends of ours.
No, 5 different friends, like 5 different people who are like a group of friends, and then they just do what we do.
I'd be pissed if somebody preferred another group of friends.
Oh, I would be pissed because like we're the alpha friends. They'd be like Austin's X00. Don't you mean like the 00 crew?
That's not
the ones the ones who are like worth 0. That's what I meant. Like,
oh.
Like we should listen to we should watch Austin's X01. Like they're number 1, not those fucking zeros. Ooh, I'm pissed.
I'm pissed just thinking about it. Like Austin isn't even in that group. Like
fuck. You know what pisses me off? To this day, I've changed my. I have another email, but like to this day, like when I tell people my email or like they like watch my videos, they're like, so your first name's Austin?
I would just say it's my middle name.
Austin Zachary Rob. Oh, it doesn't sound that bad, I guess. Austin Zachary Roberts.
It's kind of bad.
Well, I think it just
Zachary Austin Roberts. That sounds okay.
Zach Austin Roberts. It had to be Zachary. That's the thing that's the weirdest thing about my name is like it. My name does not sound good. Zach Allen Roberts. Like, you have to say Zachary. There's no... I can't... I've never thought of any middle name that sounds good just by just saying Zach. Like, without Zachary. Zach Michael Roberts. Oh.
Yeah, Zach Michael Roberts.
Zach Michael. It still sounds weird. Like,
Zach Michael seems like Zach hyphen Michael.
Yeah, Zach
What's
Michael.
Zach Michael.
Yeah, like, it would have to be Zachary Michael still.
Zachary Michael Roberts.
Zach Peter.
Zachary Peter.
Zach Peter Roberts.
Zach Peter. Zach Peter.
Zach Dennis Roberts.
Hey, what if your name?
I would be
Dennis
pissed.
From Dennis.
What could be a middle name that would just go with Zach?
Finster.
Zach Finster Roberts. I guess you're right, but it still sounds better. Zachary Finster.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Zachary Finster Roberts. Zach Leopold Roberts. That doesn't sound that bad.
Zachary
but it also
Leopold.
sounds better. Zachary Leopold.
Zachary Leopold.
Zachary Leopold.
Yeah, it does.
Zachary Lee Roberts. Zach Lee Roberts.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Zachary Roberts.
I think I sometimes I have problems when someone says exactly, like I think they're saying my name.
Yeah.
So like if my middle name was Zach Lee, then I would have even
Zach
more
Lee.
problems. Like they'd be like exactly, I'd be like, what? You call him for Zach Lee? Which is why I always thought it was so weird. Zach Allen, the kid that we went to school with, his name was Zach Allen.
He was one of my best friends at one point.
Yeah, he's nasty.
He's nasty?
He's so nasty. He's so ugly.
We used to spy on Rachel Kendig.
He's like,
Kendig.
You, the viewers at home can't tell, but I'm making a Zach Allen face. He's like...
He used to be a cool guy, though. His dad was pretty awesome. I don't remember his mom.
I don't think his
mom was in the picture.
Is this Michael? Is his middle name Michael?
I don't remember.
But I'm pretty sure it was always on the seating chart as just Zach. Like always on the class roster as Zach. Like I don't think his name was Zachary.
It was. His dad called him that. His dad also called him Sweetie.
Oh.
And I thought it was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, but Zach Allen had a awesome house.
Really?
One of the best houses I've ever been at.
All right.
It's my dad built his house.
Really?
Yeah, my dad built his house because you know my dad used to have a masonry company.
Didn't know.
Yeah, R&R Masonry.
Why?
He just owned a
Why
company.
Why R&R?
Rick and Ray.
Rick and Ray. Oh my God.
R&R, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
R&R Masonry. He used to have like a legit company with he did all legit.
My dad also owned a company.
For masonry?
No, R&S Services.
What did he do?
He picked up dead bodies. He
knew
that.
Yeah, I knew that. But Zach Allen, he had like a 2-story house, but it was like one of those ones where like you like walk in, and like the front like you just walk in normally to like a house, but then like it goes down, but it's like on the like the side of a cliff kinda.
What?
Where like how do I explain this? Like his house was like on a hill.
Yeah.
But it was like the house was built on the hill, so like you walked into the top story.
Yeah.
And when you walk down, you're like at the bottom of like a hill.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And like it had like a loft, and just like it was so nice.
So you migrated to the wrong Zach, is what you're saying.
Well, right now I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment, like with very depressing wallpaper.
Yeah. So clearly you apparently you chose the wrong Zach Allen.
Well, I remember one time like he had like 4-wheelers and dirt bikes. And he let me ride one of his dirt bikes, and I crashed. And, like, I crashed with my hand, like, on the throttle, so I was like... sliding down, and then my mom found out that I was riding it without her permission, and I was never allowed to go back.
Oh, that's why?
Yeah, but we used to love getting binoculars and spying on Rachel Kendig's house.
So he lived in, like, New Carlisle, then?
Yeah.
Because Rachel Kendig lived in New Carlisle.
Yeah, he lived right across the street from Rachel Kendig. Oh, wow.
I think you told me that when we went to Rachel Kendig's to drop off that T-shirt.
I was like, oh,
Road not big for two. You were like, yeah, that's Zach Allen's house.
Yeah, but he spied on her in, like, his spare time. He had, like, a telescope.
What a weird... Ew.
And he was, like, obsessed with her. Because, like, at the time, like,
they were, like, had a crush on her.
Yeah, he did.
Ew, and he, like, spied on her?
Yeah.
All the time?
He had, like, night vision. He had so many gadgets.
What the fuck, Zach?
Yeah, we ran through his house with, like, night vision goggles at night.
That sounds fun.
It was real fun. His house was amazing.
I'm sorry you feel that way about my things.
Oh my god. I migrated towards the wrong Zach Allen.
What I was trying to say by bringing up Zach Allen is it always sounded so weird to me when teachers would be like, Zach Allen? Because, like, to me, I'm just thinking Zachary Allen. Like, because I can't, to me, that's so my middle name.
Yeah.
And it sounds weird to say Zach Allen Roberts.
Yeah. Well, like, Richard Lee Turner, he has, like, the same, like, first name as me. Like,
first and middle name.
Yeah. Richard Lee Quillen, Richard Lee Turner.
Yeah.
How weird.
That is weird.
Fuck Richard
How
Lee
very
Turner.
different.
I would fuck Brittany Boner.
Still to this day?
Oh,
Brittany Rogers?
Oh, yeah.
I think she got uglier as the years went on.
She's more happy now, I think. But maybe she's dead inside because she's married to...
Ugly Brandon
I just want to know why she's working at Waffle House.
Why
does she drive that far?
Probably because she wants to get away from Brandon. Oh. That's sad for her. How long do you think until they divorce?
2 years.
2 years?
I thought they'd be divorced by now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they haven't been married that long.
2 years?
They haven't been that long.
It's been like a year.
Hashtag Rogers Tie the Knot was while I was at Pizza Hut. Because Matt Kelly was their cousin, and he talked about it all the time. So that was, like, right after I started at Pizza Hut, and that was, like, August.
Why did they get married?
I don't know. Because they thought they were happy,
FBF.
I guess.
Remember that? He's my FBF.
Future
boyfriend.
Future boyfriend. Fuck, I do remember that.
Because her dad wouldn't let her date him.
Oh my god, because her dad was probably smart. Fuck. I forgot about that, FBF.
And she said every single fucking day to anybody who would listen.
Yeah. Brittany Porter's cringe.
Oh yeah, she's cringe as fuck now.
Yeah, because now she's like a wife.
Wifey.
Yeah, and so she's like, I stay home and cook because my place is in the kitchen.
Fucking Liz. The other day, she literally told us, a woman's place is in the kitchen. And we were like, I completely agree. And then she's like, oh yeah, I actually think that. You're like, I don't.
I was like, nope, no. I was like, I'm supporting a woman to be the president.
Like, I agreed with what she was saying. Like, if you want to be a stay-at-home, like, wife, clean the kitchen. Like, I agree.
Like, I guess if you have chosen to be a stay-at-home wife.
Like, that is your job. Like, be the, cleaner.
Yeah, I agree, I guess.
I thought that because, like, my aunt, she went through a period where she was a nurse and got fired from every single job and, like, got her nursing license taken away because she was doing all the drugs.
Oh.
She stole patients' drugs all the time.
Jesus.
Yeah. And, she was staying at home, and she would, like, make us clean, because that was the time, like, I stayed the night with my cousins all the time, and she would just make us clean. I was like, this is your job, bitch.
Yeah, that I hate. Well, that's something I hate about Will, is that, like, when he was in between jobs, he'd be like, do the dishes. I'm like, the fuck did you do all day? Like, because I just got off of work. Like, the fuck did you do all day?
Do the dishes.
Yeah, he'd be like, make sure you do the fucking dishes. And I'd be like, why? Like, you have been here all day. These are your dishes. No. Like, I just worked all day. I'm like, at one point, I was the only person in my house working when my mom got fired and Will was in between jobs. I was the only person in my house working until my mom got another job.
Really?
Yeah, and I'd come home and they'd be like, can you do the dishes? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, I'm the only person in this fucking house that has a fucking job. Will stays home all day. You're fucking clinically depressed because you just got fired from the job that you've had for 25 years, and because no one can hire you at the same rate. Like, if you're fucking sitting here crying all day, you get the fuck up and do the goddamn dishes yourself. I was working at DSC at the time, waking up at fucking 4:30 in the morning and not getting home until 4:30 p.m. And they're like, can you do the dishes? No!
Is that what you said?
Yes! I got mad at them every day. I'd be like, no, I just got off work. And she's like, well, I was gone all day. I was like, yeah, applying for jobs. Like, I was actually doing one. It pissed me off. I was probably rude. I was probably a little rude. But I was like, it was mostly because of Will. Because he never has a job. He's never working. He's never had a consistent job. And so then I'll come home and he'll have been there for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And then he's like, will you do the dishes, the week's worth of dishes that I didn't do? And even though I fucking work now 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like the assistant manager now of Pretzel Maker. And now all of a sudden like he's like, these fucking dishes. No.
It seems to me that you don't even use that many dishes.
I don't.
Like you always use like the plastic dishes.
Right. Same thing I did at our apartment.
Yeah.
They were never my dishes. But I didn't mind doing them on occasion. It pisses me off. And like, I told them specifically when I moved in, I was like, I'm not going to do your fucking dishes. I'm not going to take your fucking trash out. I'm not going to, like, in the summer, pick up your fucking sticks. I was like, I'm not doing that. Because they used to make me fucking do yard work all the time. I was like, I'm moving into your house strictly out of necessity. I was like, I don't even want to. If I have to, I'll just move in with my grandma. I was like, I don't even want to move into this house again because I don't want to see your fucking ugly, toothless husband. But I'm doing
surprised
it.
Your mom let that happen.
What?
I'm surprised she even let you move in under those conditions.
Yeah, and she was like, okay. But then she still makes me do things.
But not pick up the sticks.
She made me, yeah.
Oh, that pissed me off.
Yeah, it pissed me the fuck off. I was like... Because I remember talking to my grandma about it. I was like, it's not that... She's like, well, you could help. I was like, it's not that I don't want to help. It's that I don't even want to be there in the first place. And, like, that was part of the reason why I hated them so much in high school is because they just made me do all their bullshit that they didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And I couldn't say no because I was under 18, living under their rules, and I was still under her custody because she had full custody. Like, and so now I'm like, I'm fucking 20 years old moving back in with my parents. Well, I was 19. I was like, I'm fucking 19 years old moving back in with my parents because of mistakes that I had made on my, on my own. So, it wasn't their fault. But, like, I'm not going to move into their house and do their bidding. Like, I'm moving in strictly out of necessity, and I want to, like, knowing that I want to be gone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not moving into their house to be their fucking slave again. And I made that very clear to them. And it didn't happen. I mean, it happened for a while. For a while, they treated me like I was just a tenant. They never talked to me. They left me alone. They didn't make me do things. Like, they would just be like, hey, dinner's ready. I'd go down and eat dinner, go back up to my room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd go to work. But... And I'd hang out with Jordan. She was my only friend at that time. Or sometimes Nicholas. I guess Nicholas came shortly thereafter. But, they for the most part treated me like I was a tenant. And, like, Allie didn't bother me. Like, it was good. But where did that go? Am I right?
Allie's such a cunt now.
She really is.
Some people have to work in the morning. That pisses me off to this day.
Right.
Pisses me off.
Yeah, because she's going to fucking 7th grade.
Oh, God. Fucking Mr. Lewis's class. Like, how hard could that be?
Right, well, he doesn't
work
teach
there
anymore.
But, like, goddamn 7th grade must be really hard, Allie.
Right, you fucking cunt.
Like, I stayed up to every fucking morning in 7th grade masturbating until 3 a.m. watching Cinemax.
Right, but...
And I still got all A's.
And we weren't even being that loud, though. That's the thing. We were just sitting there quietly watching a movie. Like, looking for a movie to watch. We were just sitting there quiet. Like, it's not my fucking fault that her room is right there. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like she, like, learned that really bitchy behavior.
Yeah. And just the other night, last night, she had, like, 3 fucking friends over, and they were loud until, like, 2 in the morning. And I was fucking exhausted yesterday, and I went to sleep at, like, 11 p.m. Mm-hmm. And which is early for me, for the most part. And she fucking was, like, listening to music until, like, 2 or 3 in the morning. I mean, I slept through it, but, like, how can... Fuck off, double standard ass bitch. Like, how can she expect me to be quiet when she's trying to sleep when she can't have the same courtesy for me?
Yeah.
She wants to pretend like she's an adult, but doesn't act like one.
Yeah, because she's like 11 or 12.
Yeah, and she's 13, I think. Her fucking friends, oh, good God, they're all so ugly. The one girl has, like, Sam Oak's level of acne.
Oh.
Which is awful. But then, like, also...
Sam Oak's had consistent... All through
years of knowing
school.
him, yeah.
Like, he never grew out of that terrible acne.
Yeah, he just had, like, terrible acne. And so this is what that girl looks like. And she has braces, and she, like, parts her hair in the middle, but was also wearing, like, underwear for shorts, essentially. Like, they were, like, the smallest fucking underwear, or the smallest fucking shorts. And then her other friend has, like, Mormon hair, like, the fucking, like, a curl in the front. Like, fucking just picture what a Mormon looks like, but wearing, like, whore clothes.
Whore clothes.
I mean, it was awful. She fucking left, she's, like, on her period now, and she fucking left, like, one of her pads unrolled. Just bloody fucking pad on top of the toilet.
Ew.
Yeah. It was awful.
Why do your, like, family members love leaving their fucking nasty tampons?
I don't know. And it's awful. And I've consistently wanted to move out since the day I moved back in. Last night I got out of my car when I got home from work, and Allie had her window open, and she was, like, listening to music with her friends, and she puts her face against the window and goes, "Yo!" at the top of her lungs, because she has an audience of friends, and is, like, trying to be funny. And I completely ignored her, and she's like, "Okay!" And I was like, "Hello?" And she's like, yeah, you better say hello!" And, like, turned to her friends, and I literally, like, mumbled to myself, "I'm going to fucking kill myself." I want to move out so bad.
Yeah, moving in with my dad it's great.
Yeah.
It's so much better than living with my mom.
Yeah.
Because, like, my dad's kind of annoying because he, like, the only thing that he does is, like, the other night he texted me, he's like, "Clean the kitchen, clean up the dog mess, take out the trash." And so I did that, and then I get a fucking call from him the next day. Well, like, I'm, like, leaving work, he's like, "We need to talk." I'm like, "About what?" He's like, "Why'd you half-ass your job that I gave you?" I was like, I didn't. I did everything you asked of me. And he's like, you just set the trash outside. You didn't put it in the trash cans. I was like, okay. Like, I was planning on doing it the next day. I go home like 1 a.m. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know you go home at 1 a.m. And, like, he backed off of me.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he leaves at like 4 every day. So, like,
Yeah.
I get, like, the entire evening by myself.
Right. And that's something my mom still does. Like, she's like Sunday I have to take the trash cans out. I mean, I'm not even there most Sundays, but okay, like, I'll take the trash out at fucking 2 in the morning when I get home. But, okay, like, I take the trash cans out, but then she's like, "If you forget, I'll wake you up when I get home at 3 in the morning."
Instead of, like, doing
Instead of just doing it your fucking self? Like,
yeah, my parents used to do it, and it used to piss me the fuck off.
They've never done it, but they always threaten it. They're like, "Guess what you forgot?" And I'm like, "What? Take the trash cans out?" They're like, "Yeah, I had to do it at 4 this morning when I got off work." I'm like, "Yeah, sucks, doesn't it?"
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, my mom used to, like, because my mom was fucking lazy.
mm-hmm.
And she just sat on the couch all day. And she would get up. Well, she would yell for me. And, like, have me, like, come in the living room. She's like, "Take out the trash." I'm like, "You're literally right there.
Yeah.
You had to yell for me to come do it."
Yeah,
She was
it's
so
fucking frustrating.
My mom is one of the laziest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Because she just sat around all day and like, she never cleaned. Like, we had to do it, like, and the house was a mess all the time because nobody ever cleaned.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was gone for school and work. Like, at this time, like, I'm thinking, like, right after, like, I moved out of the apartment, like, I was still working, like, 40 hours a week and going to school.
Yeah.
So I was never there, and, like, nobody cleaned it. The house
Right.
was a fucking mess, and it was disgusting. And my mom would still make me, like, do everything. And I, like, hated her for it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I want to move out so bad. Like, even if it was just in a shitty little apartment like this,
Yeah.
I want to live by myself. Like, I need to.
Yeah, like, when I left, like, I guess it was around a year ago it was like 11 months ago when I left my house.
Yeah.
With Dad. I didn't want to live with my dad. I just want to live alone. But,
Yeah.
like, it was not feasible.
Yeah, it's hard. I think, like, here, my dad's rent's like $490
Yeah.
for the single. I mean, they have a studio, but he said imagine the room we're sitting in without that door right there.
Yeah.
And then there's just a kitchen and a bathroom.
I wouldn't mind living in a studio.
Yeah, I mean, it might be awful. It would be weird, though, because it's, like, essentially just a big bedroom.
Yeah, well, I kind of like... Well, I went... Stephanie and I went to, like, a concert at Ohio State one time.
Yeah.
And, like, we parked at one of her friends, like, apartment complexes because he went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And he had a studio apartment, and I loved it. It was so, like... I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it was just, like, a little cozy space. Like, he had, like, a little bunk bed and a little desk underneath it.
Yeah.
And it just looked so fucking cozy, and I was like, I would like to live here.
Yeah. Well, because, like, I would think... I think he said, like, my dad said that here, the rent on the studio was just like $400 or something like that, which really isn't that bad. I mean, that's like for me good. Like now as being the assistant manager would just be 40 hours, and I usually I'm working about like 60, 70 on a paycheck.
Yeah,
and I could do more. Like I could probably do up to like 70 on a paycheck. It should be $700, a little less because taxes.
Yeah, that'd still be tight.
Yeah, it'd be tight, but like if I really wanted to, I could do it, and especially if I saved up, like I could do it. But I mean, it would be great because we would hang out here. We would hang out in my apartment like every day at any time, you know. And it's not that I don't want to live with my friends. It's not that I don't want to live with you guys. But knowing how it affected our friendship, because even just without everything that happened, just like I
feel like we saw each other a lot less.
We saw each other less. I was, at least coming from my end, like, and I'm sure you could agree, I was just annoyed living together just because of like the differences in our habits at the time.
Yeah.
But
like, I don't think we were bad roommates.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like,
no.
We got along. Like.
Right.
And for the most part, the apartment stayed clean.
Yeah. It wasn't that we were incompatible. It's just I wouldn't want to risk it with my friendship with like anybody else.
Yeah. Like
I wouldn't mind doing it again. Like if we all went in on a house or something, like it would be fun as fuck. Like you, me, Hannah, and Nicholas. But you know, something like that. Like I think it would be, or you, me, Hannah, Nicholas, Whitney. You know, someone. You know, I think it would be fun. It would be fun. But I would be worried.
I get annoyed really quickly, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm worried, and I worry that would be a problem. Well, and I wouldn't want to risk our friendship. Whereas if we each got like a studio apartment here in this complex, you know, we could like walk to each other's house.
That'd be fun.
And we would still have our own space. We'd still be able to have alone time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like at the apartment, every morning when you came home, you always woke me up. No fault to you, but because I was such a light sleeper.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah, and I would get so anxious because I thought you'd be mad at me for something I did.
Yeah.
Because like, you would just text me and get mad at me for something. Yeah. Like you left your coat on the stove. Which I still remember because I did that. I did that.
I mean, I yelled at you for that?
Well, you texted me pissed. You're like... And it pissed me off because you were so pissed about it.
Yeah.
Like what happened with Hannah today.
Yeah.
Like she got pissed for something, so like we got pissed back for her being mad. You're like... You text me really fucking like... passive-aggressive, like, I guess that's where we put coats now.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you were, like, such an asshole about it.
I don't even remember this.
Well, I remember it pissed me off.
Did I, like, take a picture or something?
I don't know what you did.
What did I say?
Yeah, you sent me a picture, like, I guess this is where we put coats now. And, like, I texted Stephanie, I was like, Zach's literally mad because I put my coat on the stove. And she's like, that's not where coats go. And I got pissed at her. Like, we actually had a fight about it because I got pissed at her.
For, like, taking my side.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? She's like, you're not supposed to leave your coat on the stove. I'm like, I fucking know. And like, I didn't text her all day.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so like, after that, every morning you came home and woke me up, and I would get, like, super anxious until
you heard me, like, go to my room.
Sleep and not get a message from you.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was so bad. Yeah, like...
You have a way of making people feel bad when you're upset about something.
Well, thank you.
It's a compliment.
You love making me feel bad about myself. No, I know, like that, like today when I like messaged Hannah back, like nobody like purposely left you without a fucking cream cheese. Like nobody's that malevolent. Like
yeah,
that was probably rude, but it's true.
Yeah,
I don't. Well, and it's you know I really at this point in my life like want to live alone. Like I'm jealous of my dad for like being able to live alone.
Yeah,
I'm not that jealous because he seems pretty depressed, but I think it would be
because he's living alone. He's living alone.
For the, like, basically like the first time too. But I also think that we have a good enough friendship with our group of friends that like we would still hang out all the time. Obviously, I mean, I don't think our living situation would affect like whether we hung out or not. But I want, you know, at this point in my life, like I don't want to live with my parents. They're so annoying, and I don't want to risk my friendship like living with my friends. So, you know, I think it would be interesting to, if like I had my own place to like live in, but I don't think I'll ever be able to afford one.
Yeah, I wish like for now, I wish like Stephanie got like after she graduated, I wish she could get like a full-time job and just like pay for us to have an apartment.
Yeah.
Because she just told me recently that she does not want to move in.
Oh.
not because of like, it's not because like I'm not ready for that step.
Yeah.
It's because she doesn't like, because when she moves in, it's gonna be like a huge fight with her mom.
Yeah.
Because her mom's like a controlling bitch.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to like move all that stuff and like have that huge fight and like that falling out, that the inevitable falling out with her mom.
Yeah.
And then have to like move all of her stuff again when I graduate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, all right. But like if she like moved out to like, if we like moved into our own place.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I like leave my dad.
Yeah.
High and dry. Because like I also like, as good as it is living with my dad, I do not want to live with my dad.
Right.
Because in many ways he's gross.
Yeah. Well, and like you just don't want to live with your parents. I mean, like you know.
Yeah, I want to be independent.
Right. We're fucking like 20 years old. Like.
Yeah.
We don't want that. I don't think I would be able to afford it on even the assistant manager salary at Pretzel Maker. Probably not.
Do you think you could get like Section 8 housing?
I wouldn't.
Like living assistance?
There are, you can get like food stamps for if you're like a low income individual.
Can I get food stamps?
Probably.
I'd use them.
And then that would help.
It's just like a card now.
Yeah.
Because I buy my own groceries.
Yeah, and so that would help. Like if I was able to, I mean, I would need. It would be on the assistant manager salary. It would basically be a money pit throwing it into like a rental though.
Yeah.
Because like I would never ever be able to save any money. Like it would be, I'd probably make like 700 gross, and then like net actually like 6. I don't know how much taxes are. But at most $600, and then, on 400 of it would go to rent, 200 on bills. So there's that paycheck, and then the next one, you'd have like car payment and stuff like that. I mean, I might be able to like Well,
that's kind of how I lived at the apartment. Like when we moved in the apartment, I knew it was kind of like too expensive.
Yeah.
And I like told you that I was like afraid about it, and you're like, "Well, I'll help you out sometimes."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I kind of like took a risk.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing with my car. Like, my car payment's expensive, but it worked out because I can afford it.
Yeah.
But like, I would just the rent was like $300. It's like one of my paychecks would be $300.
Yeah.
And I would just put that entire paycheck towards living.
Yeah.
Like at that time, I was working like 2 days a week with Dan.
Yeah.
And that would be the money I had to live for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Especially when I loan you money.
We know. Which, for fuck's sake. And that's how you end up.
I have to shit. Azoo!